Welcome to Law Library. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Naddaha. The Naddaha is an Egyptian folklore. Okay, Naddaha literally means the collar. There's two variations to the story. The first one is there's this female creature which lurks in the river banks, by the river banks of the Nile. She's tall, slender, beautiful, attractive. Everything that a man would require to have. She sings very well. She's very sweet, demure in her voice. Now, the first story is she'll only look for two guys, or rather a couple of guys walking. Now, what happens is she will call one of the guys by his first name. Okay. And you can imagine if you are walking by the river after sunset, it's dark and all that, and you hear a soft, sweet, demure voice somewhere. It is so sweet, and it's calling your first name. It's calling your name, all right? Obviously, you're going to turn around. You have that. You want to investigate. You want to find out where is this voice coming from, right? So the story goes that if you engage to this voice, if you start to investigate, to move towards this voice, you'll be put on a spell and you will be totally hypnotized. Okay, you will just go blindly walk towards this voice. The other person who's walking beside you, if he wakes you up, okay, he shakes you and wakes you up, and both of you manage to run away from the place, what happens is the guy who waked you up, in this case the story waked the other person up, would be next in the Naddaha's list. So it's very interesting to see how that goes. So that's the first story. But to finish it off, assuming that the other guy who follows runs away, and somehow the one who's hypnotized goes towards that sound, okay, and eventually he reaches and he looks at this beautiful maiden. I mean, very, very attractive. He goes near all the way, and until the end, and before it's just he realized that it's too late by then. She will drag him in, or it will drag him into the water, drown him, then kill him. All right. So that is the first story. The second story goes that she will call with the same demureness, the same sweetness, to entice the man who lives by the riverbank. Okay, so whoever hears, especially after sunset, someone calling, especially a female voice calling the person first name, it is best to just ignore it. It's just ignore and just stay indoors. But assuming that one gets excited and goes outside the house, he will be will face the same fate of being drowned and killed. The second story is even more stressed, like this: when the person first hears the calling from the Naddaha, he will be in delirious mode for about 3 days. He will be hallucinating. He will be like a crazy man. He will be doing that for a few days, and on the fourth day, if he succumbs to that, then he will go out of the house and towards his doom. But if he finds a way to fight it, and he can actually escape from the clutches of this Naddaha. So there's another thing as well. So these are the two variations which I understand, but this is something that I wanted to say. In Wikipedia, I was checking on some references. I noticed that they call it a sea nymph. A nymph is to the best of my knowledge, the nymph is 3,000 children of the ocean god of Greek, if I'm not mistaken. So these 3,000 children are called nymphs, and they are basically demigods, right? They dwell in places of nature, like the forest, the mountain, the river banks, the sea, and all these places. They are more benign, so they cannot be associated with the Naddaha, because the Naddaha is more towards the genie, or the jinaya as they call it in Arabic. The genie has more sinister plans actually. So that's something that I wanted to say. So now that we know there's two different stories, right? This can have many cultural reasons to it, okay? Because it is known for those days, people who live by the banks of the Nile, there's many robbers and thieves and all that. To fear those young men who spend their time after sunset near that, to give them some kind of fear, so that they would not be a victim of these robbers and thieves. This story has been told over the years, but then you never know. There could be a creature called the Naddaha, which lurks and looks for the men. Okay, so this is the first video in our repository. So if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. There's going to be many more folklores. I'll be covering many from all over the world. If you have anything that you want to share, you can always drop a mail. The information is in the description box. So thank you, and I hope to see you soon. Stay tuned.